Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, it seems like it's just another day ending in Y where there's another major corporation out there trying to censor your speech on platforms that they do not control. And ladies and gentlemen, the latest guilty party of that is none other than Riot Games, the developer of League of Legends. Boys and girls, yes, one of the most popular games out there on the planet. And of course, has inspired the Netflix series Arcane, which the first season was good. I heard the second season, not so much, but at least I really did enjoy the first season. And though I'm not a League of Legends player out there, I know a lot of people absolutely love this game, and it's one of the most popular things out there. But what I am is definitely somebody who stands against censorship in any way, shape, or form. Free speech is the ultimate way to do things. Boys and girls, as the old saying goes from my grandfather that I used to hear when I was growing up, it's better to keep your mouth shut and let everyone think you're an idiot than open it and erase all doubt. Well, I want freedom of speech because I want all of these idiots to open their mouths and erase all of the doubt that I have as about whether or not what kind of person they actually are. And so that's why I'm a big free speech advocate. But apparently, League of Legends is not one of those, boys and girls, because if you say anything bad about them, even if it's not on their platform or anybody else involved in the game that might violate their TOS, whether it be on social media platforms or while you're streaming, oh no, you will now face in-game punishments all the way up into a ban for saying something that's not on their platform that violates their services. Oh, why does it feel like we've been down this road before? Oh, that's right, because we have. Because history doesn't just repeat itself, it also rhymes. And this is where we find ourselves once again with League of Legends. Because as you can see from our dear sweet friends over here at Bounding Into Comics and Spencer McCooley, new update to Riot Games Terms of Service gives League of Legends developer the right to respond to players' off-platform conduct with penalties in the game. So yes, boys and girls, if you go out there and say something naughty that might violate Riot Games Terms of Services while you're playing League of Legends, even if you're not currently involved in the League of Legends, if you're not saying it through their own stuff, oh no, if you go out there and voice your opinion somewhere else and say something that they don't like, oh, I don't know, maybe God forbid, talk bad about the Arcane series and how the second season was a disastrous dumpster fire, well, guess what? Your League of Legends account and your playthrough and all of your gaming will now be affected by it. And boys and girls, this is the kind of nonsense garbage that needs to be called out and pushed back against, because these corporations do listen indeed when enough of their community out there comes and calls them out for it. I mean, their prime example, of course, is the Helldivers controversy, where PlayStation Network was going to require you to have an account even if you were playing the game on Steam. And guess what? Enough of the Helldivers fan base out there pushed back against Sony, and Sony relented. And that's the exact same kind of thing that all of these League of Legends fans out there need to do against Riot Games for this kind of nonsense, garbage, censorship, and Big Brother garbage that nobody wants to have as simply part of their entertainment. This is not something you want to have to think about while you're enjoying your League of Legends play or any of the rest of your escapism. But this is the world we currently find ourselves in. But fortunately enough, boys and girls, as always, the customer is right, and you can push back and call this kind of nonsense out. And that's exactly what we're going to do here today. But before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, boys and girls, because we are grinding, we are growing, and I could not do that without every single one of you. Also, leave us a comment in the section down below. Are you a League of Legends player? Does this irritate you and bug you like it should for a lot of other people out there? Or does this not really bug you at all that much because you don't really care and you don't really say that much and you don't delve into all of this kind of stuff? Let us know what you think about all that in the comment section down below. And if you'd like to support the channel, please check out the links in the descriptions as well. So Spencer McCooley over there at Bounding Into Comics. Another day, another step closer to blanket internet authoritarianism. This time as League of Legends developer Riot Games has updated their terms of service to allow them to the right to issue in-game penalties to players who engage in harmful off-platform behavior while using any of the company's video game services. Yes, anything, boys and girls, even if you're streaming the game yourself on your own personal channel or doing any of that kind of stuff. Well, if you talk bad about them, oh no, you're not going to be able to play our game anymore. As detailed in a November 26th blog post published on the developer's official website, this change, one of 4 recently made to said users agreements in service of evolving with games and the content ecosystems to make the best possible experience for our players and creators. Oh yes, boys and girls, it's all about creating a safe space for them. Color a shock there. Clarifies that off-platform conduct and behavior connected to our IP is now subject to our terms of service. So yes, if you're a League of Legends player, you now have all of your content moderated by Riot Games' new terms of service. Boy, isn't that grand, boys and girls? Our intention with this update is to help protect players from harmful behaviors that they can experience across the various places that they touch their gaming experience. This update applies very specifically and only to content where Riot Games are in the background of the content produced. So basically, if you end up having like, oh, I don't know, like some of the people in Geeks and Gamers have video games playing on the background of their thing. Like, so if you have that playing in your background and you're making a video about something completely and totally off the topic and not even related to it, but it violates their terms of service, well, you've been a very bad boy. You've said something you're not supposed to, and we're gonna punish you for it. Though we aren't going to proactively monitor everything that happens across social media, it is now within our rights to issue penalties in-game when that content is brought to our attention. So yes, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, they are now giving authority to all of the snitches and the crybabies out there who intentionally hate watch other people's content just so that they can find clips so they can go out there and try to blast these people on social media. So yes, Riot Games and League of Legends now is going to make it to where anybody out there who doesn't like something you said and can construe it in a way that might possibly violate Riot Games' terms and service, well, guess what? Now the hall monitors and all of the rest of the cancel culture, they're gonna punish you too. Just like Riot Games believes you deserve, you bad little boy out there, you bad little girl. How dare you say anything offensive or against her or violate us in any way, shape, or form? Yeah, how dare you hurt someone else's sensibilities in a game on an internet place so you can literally just turn off and walk away from it anytime? No! It must be a safe space for all, except for anybody that believes in freedom of speech and has a different opinion. We know where this goes. We know where this leads every single time, boys and girls, unless there is enough pushback from the actual fans and the actual audience out there. As an example, if a creator uses hateful slurs about an opposing player or teammate on their stream, by the way, who defines hateful slurs, by the way, boys and girls? Because we know how the definition of those things change over and over again over the years. And we know the kind of sensibilities. So yeah, something that you might be perfectly okay with and that you and all your friends might be perfectly okay with talking trash about each other. Well, guess what? One of those little cultists out there can clip that out, bring it to League of Legends, and get you banned for it. Boy, ain't this gonna work out well for everybody. As an example, if a creator uses hateful slurs about opposing players or teammate on their stream, i.e. what they define that as, but not in game over chat or voice comms, we can still issue a penalty as if that behavior occurred in game. So if you're talking trash with your friends on a stream while you're playing League of Legends, guess what? They're gonna punish you for it. If you say things that break our terms of service while broadcasting or creating content about our games, we can restrict access to your Riot accounts and suspend your partner privileges if you're a partner program. Oh, so if you're critical or if you criticize this game because you're a player and you want the game to get better, well, if you say too many bad things, that's right, they'll ban you and restrict access to the game, which means they're going to ban you from playing what could potentially be your favorite game, all because you were critical for it. Boy, ain't censorship grand. Notably, though, the update only specifically mentions that this new penalty potentially applies to content about our games, including League of Legends, League of Runeterra, Valorant, and the upcoming fighting game 2XKO. It is currently assumed that this also is in effect for any and all content relating to Riot Games' wider catalog of media, such as the Netflix series Arcane or the various albums released by the in-games band Pentakill and KDA. And I mean, literally, think about that. That means if you're critical and you criticize Arcane Season 2, you could potentially have your League of Legends account suspended because you roasted and thought their second season of Arcane was trash. That's how insane this is. Alongside with this new off-platform penalty rule, Riot Games' Tencent's TOS also updates introduces a clause stating that content that promotes breaking our terms of service, specifically sponsorship for or content around boosting services, buying/selling accounts, is now subject to penalty. You know what? Whatever on that. I think that's kind of dumb too. I mean, it's your account. You should be able to sell it if you want to, but whatever. Stream sniping is also expressed explicitly against our rules, and players who do so may be penalized. I'm totally okay with that as well. Stream side is a shading content. It's really just get good, noob. Just get good. For the rare occasion a seriously egregious violation occurs, we are now including riot-wide bans in our penalty system. So yes, boys and girls, if you too much of a naughty boy or girl and you push it a little too much, they will ban you from all of their products, boys and girls, every single one of them. And here's the other thing too. Well, that's okay, because they're your kind, benevolent censorship big brother overlords, because they're going to give you time to change your behavior and get in line with their cult tactics. Aren't they benevolent? Aren't they kind? All of you League and Legends players who like to talk trash and play this game with your friends. Some of these updates may require creators to rethink their existing content strategy and content partners, i.e. get in line with the cult, boy, or you're going to be ostracized out of things. So rather than beginning enforcing their new rules immediately, Riot Games is giving creators until January 3rd, 2025 to adjust their content to adhere to these rules. Oh yes, so comply or face being banned in our game. Past that date, we can and may begin enforcing these across the entire creator community. So yes, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, all of you huge fans of League of Legends out there, all of you people that have paid your hard-earned money to make this game the success it is, whether it be all of the crazy big competitions that are had out there for all of this kind of stuff, or the money you've spent on the game, boys and girls, they are telling you right now that if you say naughty words and you say some hateful slurs towards somebody out there, which of course there is no actual definition. It's not like they're going to give you a list of these kind of words. No. It's all up to their own personal interpretation. And I wonder who's going to be in charge of that personal interpretation. Do you think it's some common sense, reasonable person out there? Or do you think it's some activist psychopath cult member who's completely and totally possessed by the spirit of the age and clutches their pearls every time somebody misgenders them? Boy, I wonder which way this is going to go and who's going to be making those decisions. Well, we all know, because we've seen this happen again and again. Policies like this are only ever put out there by activist cult members that have embedded themselves inside of these companies, whether it be the HR department, whether it be the marketing department, or all the way down to the C-suite. We have seen this happen time and time again. These people are a cult, and they go in and they are an infection. They are a cancer, and they will go in there and they will infect this company, and they will spread their disease, and they will ostracize and remove anybody from it that does not agree with it. And that's exactly what they are trying to do. League of Legends is telling you flat out, comply or get banned. They are even giving you a time frame so that way you can adjust your behavior to be more in line with their new cult rules and tactics. This is absolutely censorship. This is an absolute violation of your free speech rights by a corporation out there deciding that you as a player can no longer speak your mind and no longer give your honest opinion about things simply because of the fact that it might disagree with them or any of their cult sensibilities. We have seen how this goes over time and time again. And boys and girls, unless the community stands up, unless the fellowship stands up behind League of Legends and calls Riot Games out for this kind of nonsense and completely and totally ostracizes them for this kind of stuff, it will continue to go forward with this. So at the end of the day, it's up to the fans and it's up to the gamers how much of a stink you are going to make over this. I don't play League of Legends, so I really don't have a dog in this race, a horse in this race in any way, shape, or form. But at the end of the day, I am completely and totally anti-censorship and completely and totally for 100% legitimate free speech out there going forward. And Riot Games and League of Legends clearly is not on the side of that, and they would much rather ban you and watch you be censored, even on their platform for things that you didn't even do in their game. Stuff you did on your own private channels, on your own personal streams out there. They want to ban you and remove you from it because guess what? You don't agree with the cult. And if you're not a cultist, you don't get to play League of Legends anymore, boys and girls.